You could argue that Renaultsport has built more world-class hot hatches than anybody else. And what that means, of course, whenever a new model arrives, we have very high expectations of it. This is the latest in the line, the £31,835 Megane 300 Trophy, the most powerful Renault Sport road car ever. In this CarGurus video review, we'll decide if the new 300 Trophy lives up to Renault Sport's enormous reputation, or if it's unworthy of the badge. Apart from being the most powerful Renault Sport ever, 296 brake horsepower from a turbocharged 1.8 litre petrol engine, the 300 Trophy is also laden with go faster hardware. There's four-wheel steering, which makes the car more stable at higher speeds and more agile at lower speeds, plus hydraulic bump stops within the dampers, a cup chassis with suspension tuned for back roads and the racetrack, a limited slip differential, bi-material brakes that reduce unsprung weight, and on it goes. In fact, Renault Sport has gone to extraordinary lengths to make the 300 Trophy the most exciting hot hatch you can buy. This particular car has the £1,500 Recaro Sports Pack, which adds these very racy seats trimmed in Alcantara. Now, apart from being very supportive thanks to these chunky bolsters, the Recaro seats are also very comfortable. They drop good and low in the cabin as well, so you get a really good seating position. That hasn't always been the case with Renault Sport cars. The dashboard, it's very dark, very somber, but the build quality, the material quality, both very good. Now, clearly this car has got a manual gearbox. You can also get an EDC twin clutch gearbox with gear shift paddles. There are 5 driving modes to choose from. Neutral and comfort are for everyday driving, sport and race for B roads and circuits. Perso lets you mix and match the various parameters, things like throttle response, engine sound, steering weight, and if the dual clutch gearbox is fitted, the gear shift strategy as well. Importantly though, the dampers are not actually adaptive. That means when you do hit the comfort mode, the suspension doesn't become any more comfortable. Now, one of the first things you notice when you start rolling is the ride quality. I think from a hot hatch like this one, with this level of performance, you have to anticipate a slightly firm ride. As I've already said, there are no adaptive dampers, so you cannot knock the ride quality back, make it more comfortable. It's just what it is. Importantly though, it's not too much. It's not so tough that it's unbearable. It's a really important point. So at low speed around town, yes, it feels quite firm. And on the motorway, yes, it is quite jiggly, but it's not unbearable. What that means, of course, is that the 300 Trophy is incredibly agile and responsive. Now, what really, really matters in a hot hatch is that it's exciting to drive. It's what they're all about, really. And that's where this Megane 300 Trophy comes into its own. It's fantastic to drive on the right road. It's really good fun, incredibly quick. It's got tons of grip, supreme body control, good traction as well with that limited slip differential. Now, the steering is perhaps not as natural, not quite as intuitive as it might be, thanks to the four-wheel steering, but the turn-in grip, you just can't argue with it. Those hydraulic bump stops work in very heavy compressions, where the road drops away suddenly. When the car runs out of suspension travel, it does so in a controlled way, without ever skipping or bouncing violently. Now, with the better part of 300 horsepower from that 1.8 litre turbocharged petrol engine, the 300 Trophy is seriously quick. 0 to 62 in 5.7 seconds, astonishingly fast for a front-wheel drive car, 162 miles an hour flat out. And the engine's characterful as well. It's got great throttle response. It's a really good powertrain, this. And then the 6-speed manual gearbox suits the highly strung nature of the car perfectly. Can be a little bit notchy perhaps, but generally I think it's very good. Now, as well as being exciting to drive, fast and all the rest of it, the 300 Trophy is also very practical, very usable every day. It's got a good sized boot, seats in the back, although rear seat space is a little bit limited. Tall adults aren't going to be very happy in there for too long. This car also has all the comfort and convenience features you'd expect of a modern car. Lots of it comes as standard as well, the sat-nav, the dual zone climate control, the Bluetooth, and so on and so forth. This particular car has got an uprated Bose stereo. That costs £800 and it's very good. It's also got the £250 Vizio system. That includes lane departure warning and traffic sign recognition. So the ride can be a little bit firm, but generally the 300 Trophy is very usable. Renault Sports have always appealed to hardcore hot hatch enthusiasts. This 300 Trophy is no exception, so if that's you, this car absolutely deserves your consideration. Now please remember to subscribe to our channel, comment below, and you will find the used car you're looking for from a top rated dealer at cargurus.co.uk.